guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to share this pattern with you guys. It has taken me weeks to conceptualize how to make this red cloud applique, and I haven't been able to put a pom-pom on a hat in such a long time. I'm so overall pleased with how it turned out, and I'm hoping you guys are just excited as I am. So let's just go ahead and jump into this. For this pattern, you'll need medium weight black yarn, white crochet thread, red crochet thread, a 5mm hook, a 2.75mm hook, a yarn needle, a sewing needle, a pair of scissors, and a pom-pom. A pom-pom is not optional. It is necessary. To begin the hat, take your black yarn and 5mm hook, and you're going to start by chaining 47 if you're small, 52 if you're medium, and 57 if you're a large. Okay, now in the third chain from your hook, you're going to yarn over and make a half double crochet. To do that, insert your hook, pull through the loop, and then pull through all 3 loops. And you're going to do this all the way down. If you're small, you should end up with 45 stitches, medium 50, and 55 if you're a large. To start every row, chain 2. And then for this hat, I thought it would be cool to do the ribbed look, so for this hat, go into the back loop only and make a half double crochet like normal. And you're just going to do that every stitch, every row. If you're making a small hat, do this for a total of 50 rows, and if you're doing a medium hat, do it for 54 rows, and if you're making a large, I recommend 58 rows, or until it wraps around your head comfortably. And I'll meet you back when you have that done. Okay, so you should end up with something like this. So we're going to start putting it together, and to do so, we're going to fold the hat in half lengthwise, and then we're going to chain 1. So in order to connect the hat, we are going to insert our hook through both sides, like this. And then we're just going to make a single crochet. And we're going to want to do this all the way down the row. If you made a small, you should end up with 45 stitches, a medium 50 stitches, and a large 55 stitches. So this is what you should end up with, and I'm going to show you how to close up the top of the hat. So you're going to cut off a long tail for sewing and make a slip stitch to secure the knot. We're now going to thread our yarn needle, and basically you're just going to weave in and out of each row. Gotta flip on the high beams real quick. There we go. And we're just going to, weave in and out of each row and tighten as we go along. And you're just going to want to do this all the way around. If the hat doesn't close all the way when you go all the way around, just repeat the process for a second time, keep tightening as you go, and you should end up with something like this. I usually like to finish up my hats by creating a double knot before I weave in my ends. That way I know that the top of the hat won't loosen over time. Now that the tails are weaved in, all that's left to do is to flip the hat right side out again. Starting with your red thread and a 2.75 hook, we're going to make a slip knot, and we're going to chain 5. Now we're going to single crochet across, giving us a total of 4 stitches. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to put an increase into the first stitch, make 2 single crochets, and then an increase into the last stitch, giving us a total of 6 stitches. Now chain 1. For the next row, we're going to make a single crochet into the first 5 stitches, and then an increase into the 6th, giving us 7 stitches. We're going to chain 1 again, and then we're just going to single crochet across the row. To start this next row, we're going to chain 5. And then in the first chain, we're going to put an increase. Then we're going to single crochet across the whole row like normal. To start this next row, we're going to chain 4. We're going to turn our work and then just single crochet across, giving us a total of 15 stitches. Then we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to make a single crochet into the first 14 stitches and then an increase into the last stitch, bringing our stitch count to 16. Now we're going to chain 1 and single crochet across. To start this next row, we're going to turn without chaining, and I like to do that by taking out my hook first before turning, so that way the loop doesn't get twisted. And then we're just going to single crochet across the row, giving us a total of 15 stitches. We're going to now chain 1, and we're just going to do another row of single crocheting across. We're again going to chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet into the next 14 stitches, and we're going to skip the last. We're going to start this row without chaining, and then we're just going to single crochet across, giving us now a total of 13 stitches. Now we're going to chain 1, and then single crochet into the next 12 stitches, and we're going to skip the last. We're going to chain 1 again, and then we're going to make an increase into the first stitch, and then single crochet into the remaining 11 stitches. This is what it should be looking like so far, and we're going to chain 1 again, and then we're going to single crochet into the first 12 stitches, and then an increase into the last, bringing our total to 14 stitches. Okay, now chain 1, and then we're going to make a single crochet into the next 13 stitches, and then we're going to skip the last. We're going to start this next row by turning without chaining, and then we're going to start with a decrease, and then we're going to single crochet into the remaining 10 stitches. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to make a single crochet into the first 8 stitches, and then we're going to make a decrease, and then we're going to skip the last stitch. To start this next row, we're going to turn without chaining, and then we're going to make a single crochet into the first 7 stitches, and then skip the last. We're again going to turn without chaining, and then we're going to just single crochet across all 6 stitches. We're going to turn without chaining, and then we're going to just single crochet across, now giving us 5 stitches. For this next row, we're going to chain 1, and then we're just going to single crochet across. Now we're going to turn without chaining, and then we're going to put a single crochet into the first 3 stitches, and then an increase into the 4th, keeping our total at 5 stitches. So in the second stitch to our increase, we're going to insert our hook and pull through, leaving 2 loops on our hook, and we're now going to change to the white thread. So taking the white thread, we're going to pull it through the remaining 2 loops, and this will give us a smooth color change. We're then going to finish this row by making yet another increase into the same stitch, but this time with the white. And now we can go ahead and cut a short tail for the red thread. So now that we're changed to our white thread, there's just one more row to do. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do an increase into the first stitch. And then we're just going to single crochet across the remaining stitches, bringing our total to 7. So everything from here on out will be not as precise as far as patterns go, but I'm going to walk you through it the best I can. So we're going to start by making a white border around the cloud. I ended up with 63 stitches all the way around, but yours might be different. It really doesn't matter in this grand scheme of things. But I am going to show you how I do it so it can be as neat looking as possible. So what you want to do is every time you insert your hook on the edge of the border, you only want to pick up one loop. If you stick it in too deep and get two loops, it just kind of looks jaggedy, but if you keep it one loop, it stays pretty even and looks really neat. And you're just going to want to repeat this all the way around, and I will meet you back when that's done. So this is what it should look like when the border's complete. And we're going to finish the row by going into the first stitch and making a slip stitch. And then we're going to start the new row by chaining one and making an increase into the first stitch. Now for me, who has 63 stitches, I'm going to make a single crochet into the next 9 stitches. Though for you, it might be more or less. This row isn't as strict, it's more just about what looks good. So once we've reached where the first swirl of the cloud should go, what I do is in the next stitch I'll make a front post single crochet, so I'll go behind that post, not in the stitch, and then I'll make a single crochet. This way I'm facing sideways and angled correctly for the swirl. So now I'm going to begin surface crocheting, and you crochet, you guessed it, on the surface, and we're just going to make a 3D effect on top of the cloud. The beauty is if you don't like the way you're angled or the way it's looking, you could take it apart and try again. And you'll see me after every couple stitches look at it and see if I like what I'm seeing. And I recommend you do the same because sometimes you don't really know what you're looking at. But it should, yeah, look something like that. Okay, so now that I got the shape how I want it, I'll show you what to do from here. So what I like to do is turn without chaining and follow the little swoopy back like it was a row. Okay, so now that I did the last one, what we do from here is just hop right back onto the border there. And we just continue on. And for me, I made a single crochet into the next 11 stitches. So in the next stitch, we're going to do what we did last time and make a front post single crochet. And then I just made a couple surface crochets going up the center. So it looks something like this, and then I turn my work without chaining and make my way back. So I go into that one single crochet, and then I hop back onto the border again. Like that. So for me, I made a single crochet into the next 8 stitches. So we're now going to make the next swoop, and we're going to do what we've always been doing. Make that front post single crochet. And then our goal is to make like a candy cane type shape. So I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up, and I'll meet you back when it's done. Okay, I'm happy with how it looks, and I hope you're happy with yours as well. And so we're going to do what we have done all the other times and just turn around without chaining. And make single crochets back around the swoop. Okay, we're gonna just hop back onto the border again, and with me I made a single crochet into the next 24 stitches. So for this next swoopy, our goal is to make a shape like that I'm making with my thread, kind of like a C shape. And we're just going to do our thing. We're going to make our front post single crochet into the next stitch. And then we're going to try to make that C shape. And I'll meet you back when it's done. Alright, y'all know the drill by now. We have the shape we want, and now we're going to turn around without chaining and single crochet our way back to the border. Okay, for the last time, we're going to jump back onto the edge of the cloud and finish up. We're going to go all the way back to where we started. To finish this cloud, we're going to go into the first stitch of this row and make a slip stitch. Then we're going to cut off a long tail to sew it onto our hat, and I hope you guys thought that this was not confusing and that your guys' cloud looks just the way you want it to. Now all that's left to do is to attach our applique. I like the look of putting it in the center of the brim, though you might want to make 100 of these bad boys and put them around the hat for all I know. But this is how I like the way it looks, so I'm just going to go ahead and sew that on. And last but not least, it needs that pom-pom. Remember, it's not optional. And that's the whole hat. It is done, and I hope you guys liked this tutorial, and I hope you found it simple enough to follow along too. I hope you'll consider subscribing to this channel and giving this video a like, and I cannot wait to see you all here next week. Bye!